Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now here beside me, the 2024 edition Tucktec kayak, and this is the heavy duty version. Now in my prior videos, I've taken a look at the 2023 edition in great detail, the 2024 in an initial look and comparison against the 2023, but today we're gonna mix it up a bit. Because here in the box we have the BOTO. The BOTO, taking the 2024 edition, which is already a very light 25 pounds, reducing it down to around 10 pounds, creating an incredible foldable and portable kayak for your outdoor adventures. Now there's one thing I can say for sure, I love Tucktec products. So far, they have been fantastic. Absolutely highly recommended. So before I even start this video, if you're interested in what you see here today, do me a favor, look in the description box below where you can find all the details as to where you can get these Tucktec products. Again, I can highly recommend them. If you like the outdoors, if you like being on the water, this is a great way to go. So in today's video, we're going to break out this BOTO. I'm going to compare it against the 2024 edition so you can kind of see, compare, contrast, figure out which one of these works for you. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Tucktec who did provide these for review. So as we take a look at this here, the 2024 edition heavy duty, this is a polypropylene copolymer. So you can see the material, it's smooth, has a nice overall shape. This here in the white is natural, so no dyes or anything added. It's actually pretty cool. I do very much like this. It's a good look, really comfortable, nice quality seat. Everything folds up wonderfully. And fully expanded here, these just run beautifully on the water. They track extremely well. Just a nice quality boat. As we roll around the side here, you can see the way the construction works. We end up with these latches in strategic locations, so both on the front and rear, and then the latches on the inside are what help to make the shape. In the back, you can see this does have a skeg. This is built right in. And there are some latches really on the ends that help you put everything together. Generally speaking, pretty straightforward. The seat sits down on the ribs and then you kind of strap it into place. If you're interested in all of the details, again, look back at one of my prior videos. But as we move forward with the BOTO, again, this is going to be almost half the weight, if not less than half the weight of the heavy duty. Sliding this out of the box. Cool t-shirt, that's a little bonus. But you can see here how tidy and compact this really is. Now the first thing I'm going to say, you can see that this is a corrugated material. As you take a look, this is ribbed the entire way. So it's not solid plastic like on the other heavy duty models. It's corrugated. So this is going to be very lightweight, yet not quite as durable. You're going to need to be a little bit careful. This is not intended for heavy duty rough waters. And at that, it's a flat bottom design. It's going to be a little bit tighter, a little bit smaller. So not quite as robust, but I'm gonna say probably equally capable in many ways. Now keep in mind the fact that this has a capacity of up to around 200 pounds, where the full size and heavy duty version gonna be around 300 pounds. So there will be trade-offs, giving up some of the weight, but losing a little bit of overall capacity. As we get to work here, pretty similar to how the other Tucktec models fold up. It's gonna have a slightly different fold pattern that you will need to pay attention to, but again, should be pretty straightforward. Now the first thing is, this is all Velcroed together. So this strap is pretty much only utilized to hold this all together. The strap, you can see, is riveted to the front and includes the handle. Just gonna get that inside. And as we unfold this, rolling it out entirely, we've now worked it from the back of the boat all the way to the front. They fold the seat right up and inside. We'll put this off to the side for now. Has some PVC arms on it and just a simple foam pad. You may want to consider potentially upgrading the seat over time, but testing will tell, and I'll have better feedback in a later video. But as we work the front, the first thing, there is some Velcro. So this Velcro helps to latch the front very similar to the full size, but in this regard, we are going to fold this together, establish a peak, and then this strap here, going through this plastic tab, returning on itself, and holding the front flat. I actually kind of like that. You can see that it's going to really help to establish the overall shape of the boat, and I do like this over the full heavy-duty version. I feel like this should be very effective. Making sure we push this out into a peak, but then rolling over the sides. This assembly, I can tell you already, is going to be extremely easy. This is so simple to maneuver. You do not need to be all that strong to get this into place. Unlike the other versions where it was just a little bit difficult, this is real easy to fold, and you don't necessarily need to work the folds like you did on the heavy duty version. Pushing this into place and then taking this tab, rolling it over, and it will index in the hole. So the front of the boat at this point, pretty well assembled without any difficulty. That is super, super easy. So if you're not quite strong enough for the full size version, I can tell you already, this will definitely do. We're just gonna need to remove these clips for ease of maneuverability. So just roll these out of the way, kind of open everything up, get it so that it all moves. That's gonna be the case for each one of these 4 latches in the middle. And then here, making up the rear. So again, paying attention to the folds, bringing everything towards the middle, bending this in, so in, and then creating that peak. Again, leveraging the Velcro, bringing it through this tab, folding it over on itself, pushing out that peak, and then folding over the top and seating it into place. Again, I would have never been able to do this easily with the original version. So setup, extremely fast, extremely easy, and that corrugated material working itself with ease. Now, if you go back to my prior videos, the latches on the sides, well, these were on the inside of the boat, but here, they are on the outside. And essentially, you're going to take this tab, fold it into place, fold this over, and simply place the lever and latch right down. Again, very simple, but you'll see this is what starts to create that scooped bottom and give the BOTO its shape. And that will certainly be the case on all 4 sides. So again, taking our time here, rolling this into place, and again, very simple. That's a nice design. It's extremely effective. And the last 2 here, you can see, just getting this worked out, folding this over. Again, none of this construction is robust. So you do need to be just a little mindful, a little bit careful. You need to take your time. Don't overly stress anything, but if you do it the right way, everything will fold over and properly into place. Generally, with these kayaks, the 4th fold on the body is usually the hardest because everything's starting to get rigid. But at this point, that gets the entire body prepared, and now we can install the seat. So I'm basically going to take these nubs, set these in the rear holes here, and then getting everything pressed into the front. I'm actually going to just remove the front clips here just for a second to buy me a little bit of space. Getting these clips in here easily as to not stress anything overly. All sitting down easily, angling this back. So with that, very simple, easy construction, and seemingly very effective. And let's compare it again now against the 2024 edition. Which now you can see these are clearly quite different. In fact, very different. Conceptually, in terms of them being folding kayaks and the way they fold, Yeah, very similar, but in terms of the overall general characteristics, I'd say general is where they end. First off, the 2024 edition, or even earlier models for that matter, much more heavy duty, much more robust. All of the latches being aluminum, you can see heavily riveted. These have little cargo nets, fully widened out for the room that you need, some space in the back, and even furthermore, you end up with an insertable footrest, which actually works out very well. You simply place that in there and it gives you a place to put your feet while you're paddling. The seat, much more upright, a little bit larger, allows some adjustability. And then at that, this model again having the skeg in the back, which helps with tracking. Now when it comes down to the BOTO, again, this is going to be that corrugated material. You can see a little bit jagged on some of the edges. You might want to take a minute with some sandpaper and knock down these edges if you think you're going to bump into them with your elbows. I can tell you after a full day of paddling, that can get a little bit sharp. So I would definitely suggest rounding that out just so that you don't end up with almost like little paper cuts. This is kind of like sitting in a way in a cardboard box, so you definitely want to be a little bit careful. I would soften this around it out, and even at that, you don't have any sort of protection whatsoever, where on the full version and the heavy duty version you have this rubber that's been sort of riveted into place and covers that hard edge. So that's definitely a benefit, but here again you don't have that. Now in terms of the seat, thin material, very lightweight, a little bit thicker, a little bit nicer on the heavy duty version, so you can start to see where the weight is really being shed in this construction. A lot more plastic on the latches, so that is the consideration. Now of course, in terms of the cost, both of these are very cost effective, but you do save weight, you do save money, but you do increase overall packability and portability with the lightweight version. So that's where you're going to gain with the BOTO. Another thing worth noting, the BOTO is a flat bottom design. So you can see here a very flat bottom, everything about it literally completely flat, whereas the heavy duty, more rounded, has some more contour. So I'll be really interested to see how these track in the water in a side-by-side comparison. Keep in mind, again, both of these are 10-foot kayaks, but as you take a look here, in terms of the general width, around 29 inches from edge to edge across the cockpit, and that's on the full size, but on the lightweight, more like 26.5, so it is a little bit thinner. The overall length of the opening, around 63 inches on the heavy duty versus 62.5 on the BOTO, so not too much different. About 8.5 inches of overall depth on the heavy duty, and I'm seeing about 8.5 inches of depth on the BOTO. And a couple last details worth mentioning. All of these products made in the USA, which is fantastic. I love that you can support small business, USA made products, keep it close to home. That is awesome. And beyond that, incredible communication, awesome customer service, and just something that when you support this brand, you can be proud of. So with that, the BOTO versus heavy duty, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope this comparison was helpful. The next time you're going to see these, it will be out on the water, enjoying my local river, having time with my family, and just getting outdoors. And so again, if you like what you see here today, do me a favor, look in the description box below where you can get all of the relevant links for where you can find these awesome Tucktec products. Thank you so much to the people at Tucktec for providing these for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.